Hey folks, please enjoy this clip from our show, which you can find every single day at 4 p.m. Eastern exclusively on Rumble. We've been doing the best shows we've ever done, completely free of censorship and on a platform that actually supports us. You can also support us on Locals, where you can access a ton of exclusive content, movie riffs, as well as an archive of over 1,000 full episodes going back as far as 7 years. We've also teamed up with Merch Engine to bring you a new lineup of really awesome quality shirts, hoodies, and now even hats. So come check out our untethered, uncensored show on Rumble every single weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern. You stupid idiots. We have not had a WrestleMania like that in fucking years. I can't think of the last one. I really can't. But it was a great time had by all. We had to bail out the second night. We were all so beat. Our flight was leaving the next day. Frozen had to leave really early in the morning. Oh, by the way, side note, Frozen is the sweetest boy ever. Frozen made coffee, put the coffee together the night he left, because he had to go to the airport at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. So he actually put coffee in the thing and then set the timer so that we woke up to coffee, because he's a saint. Oh, the fire hydrant story? Okay. So, all right. So we took mushrooms. I probably should have front loaded that. We took mushrooms both nights of WrestleMania. Not a lot of mushrooms. I think we took a half a gram of mushrooms, which is not a lot. If anybody knows mushrooms, I need at least 3 grams, to really be humming. But a half a gram of mushrooms is just enough to microdose, It's enough to just be giggly. It's enough to just enjoy visuals more and giggle a little bit. So night one, we're leaving, right? We're all part of this giant rush of cattle, everybody trying to get to their cars. And we're walking through Philly. And we're stopped. The cops have everybody stopped at this crosswalk, and they're letting traffic go, and then they're letting masses of people go after, right? So I was like, fuck it, we're just standing there, right? And it's me, Royce, Frozen's there, 3-Shot Tim's still with us. We're all just, and I glance over, right? And there's this, there's this little midget. There's this midget who is literally the height of the fire hydrant. And he looks like he's melting. And it's not the shrooms. He's this little dwarf guy, and he's like, but he's leaning against the fire hydrant, right? And we're all standing there, and I'm standing closest to this midget. And Royce is right next to me, right? And I look over at the midget, right? And I'm like, and then I just look straight ahead, and I nudge Royce, and he looks at me, and I go, yo, why is that fire hydrant frowning at me? Loud enough that people heard it. Royce just tenses up. Royce just goes, and he's trying really not to laugh, right? He's really trying not to laugh at that. And I'm like, no, what's this, whatever, what's going on over here? And Royce is just looking away. So then Frozen's giggling, 3-Shot Tim's giggling, people start giggling, right? And I start getting louder, and I'm looking at Royce, and I'm going, don't you no-sell me, you son of a bitch. Don't no-sell that. That was fucking hilarious. And Royce is then Royce walks away and starts facing away from everybody so as to not be seen. And I'm like, God, you're not going to laugh at that one? And he's just fucking at this point, he's like, you fucking asshole, blah, blah, blah. And it gets quite, now this is we're still waiting for the cops to let us cross the street. We were waiting there for a good 3 minutes. So then we're just sitting there looking ahead. Everyone's quiet. This midget's quiet. His friends are quiet. Our friends are quiet. Everybody's just now feeling awkward. And it's we're just, everyone's standing there quiet. And I move over so I'm next to Royce again, but we're all still all kind of crunched together. And then I turn to Royce again and I go, no, but seriously, what's his fucking problem? I've never been to Philly. I never did anything to him. Royce, then he starts. Then he starts doing that thing where he's shaking laughing, but he's still not outright laughing. And everybody's like, you're such a piece of shit. You are such a piece of shit. So now everybody's just laughing, whatever. Then they fucking, all right, they blow the whistle, and there's a fucking, look, all right, let's start letting people cross, right? So we start crossing the street. Obviously, the midget starts crossing the street, too. I turn behind me and look at him one more time as we're walking, and I go, now he's fucking following me. Bro, everybody, like Tim said, nobody could breathe. Nobody could breathe until we got to the fucking car. Everybody was just howling, laughing. Like, you are the biggest piece of shit. And again, I was on shrooms. Like, dude, it's bad if I'm on mushrooms because I'll do anything to be funny. Like, at that point, I'm Roger Rabbit. I was like, oh, now he's following me. It's just like, you're the biggest piece of shit on the fucking planet. But it literally just started with me on shrooms. Look at the guy, look at Royce, and I go, why is that? Like again, I didn't yell it out, but it was loud enough that I'm like, why is that fire extinguisher frowning at me?
More stuff, Mersh in this fucking midget. I don't know how to explain this story. I think Mersh might have said it last night, but if you missed Nightwave, you probably have a day job. And this is what happened. So we're leaving. It's very important to know that we took mushrooms because the story makes even more sense.
I know where you're going here. Yeah.
Mushrooms. So we're walking out. We're leaving. We're heading back to the car. Was it night one?
Night one.
Night one. We're heading back to the car. There was a fire hydrant. There was a midget leaning on a fire hydrant. And Mersh goes, mind you, we're all fucked up. Mersh goes, why is the fire hydrant smiling at me? The guy heard him. And Mersh goes, don't know Selma, you fuck. And of course, I'm trying not to howl. And I'm like,
I'm beside him, dying. I could not fucking breathe.
Turn my back. And Mersh start going, and we keep walking. And we're
walking. He's still walking with us. The midget is still walking with us. Mersh turns around. Why is he following?
Is he following us?
You should have got a group picture with him and the fire hydrant.
Hey, that's my boy. There's our boy. 3-shot Tim.
And it was so funny, and it was dying. And then we're walking by, and what was weird about this midget, I don't know how much Mersh went into detail last night, so I'll tell you what he looked like. Did he say what he looked like?
Not in as depth.
Okay, here's what was funny about him, JJ. It wasn't that he was just a midget. I've seen plenty of midgets in my life. It's that he looked like and dressed like a turn-of-the-century Abbott and Costello comedian. Like, he looked like if Fatty Arbuckle was like a midget. Like, newsy hat. Am I wrong here, newsy hat?
No, you were right.
Big fat face, but dressed like he would be like in the 1920s New York. It was so funny. And then we're walking away, Mersh like, is he following us? I go, well, he can't hear us. His legs are short, so it doesn't really matter. And I was trying to explain to Mersh that sound travels down.
Yeah.
And it was so mean. It was so funny.
Why was he wearing so much red? And then Royce goes immediately, you should have been wearing black and yellow.
Yeah. It was very funny.
And then I go, you guys are being very mean to one of the sorry board game pieces.
No, he didn't have a bowler hat. He had a but no, it wasn't a bowler, but it's similar. It was the
newsy
Boardwalk Empire hat.
Danny Saint has on.
Yeah, like that kind of hat.
Yeah, at least that's what I have in mind.
And he had a cane.
You should have got a picture. Why didn't you get a picture?
And he had a cane.
Jesus, he's at WrestleMania. He's got to be somewhat cool about it.
Now that's a shirt. Why is the fire?
No, he was pretty pissed. It was a very pissed midget, man.
He was not happy.
Stuff like that, anyways. God
Well,
smited.
he probably wasn't happy because Mercer was making fun of. I was going to say to his face, but above his face.
Yeah, a little, couple feet.
It was one of the weirdest.
I would have gotten a picture. Just telling you.
I know I should have.
man, it was
I
great.
feel really bad that I didn't get a picture. Peaky Blinders hat. There you go. Yeah. What does a midget need a cane for? Because midgets have trouble walking. Their legs are all weird. You've
Like
never
they
seen a
have
midget
scooters?
with a cane before?
Vern Troyer had his own
man.
little cart.
I've seen a midget fucking fun in that fucking. We're leaving and we're on mushrooms and we're fucking hanging out and we're fucking the first night we're leaving and we have been drinking too. And we walk by a fire hydrant. And there's a midget on the fire hydrant. And Mersh looks
Having a lean.
And Mersh, tell me what you said to me.
We were just waiting at the red light, and I turned to Royce and I go, "Hey, why is that fire hydrant frowning at me?"
He heard him.
I was on shrooms, so I didn't have good volume management.
So was I. And then he heard him, and I know because reason I didn't laugh in his face or over above his face was because he looked up to me. He did the
like why?
and I made eye contact with him. And then Mersh, of course, being a dick, goes, "Don't no sell me." And I'm like, he's right there. I had to turn my back to Mersh.
I was like, "Don't fucking no sell
I
me."
had
That shit was
tears. I
hilarious.
had tears coming down my eyes, and I was like, "Oh, you fucking!" So then
No, this gets even funnier. So
Go ahead.
then Royce walks a little bit away. There's not a lot of room because it's
No.
a big swell of a crowd trying to cross the street. So Royce just kind of, it's like an elevator. He just shifts like one or two people away and faces away from us. So I just follow him over there, and we're still within earshot of the midget. And I go, "No, but seriously though, like, what's his fucking problem? I don't even come to Philly, so why has he got beef with me?" And then Royce starts like shaking, but still not laughing. And I'm like, come on. I was trying to break him so bad.
And then when we walked far enough away, I was like, "You're a piece of shit. You're lucky you can't keep up with us because of his little
No,
legs."
you forgot the other part. I got him a third time.
What?
You forgot about the third time I got
What was
him.
the third time?
When they finally the light turned green and the cops were letting us cross the street. And I turned to Royce and I go, "No, he's following me."
And so here's the
And then
thing.
Royce finally left.
Here's the thing.
Right.
Okay, now I got to explain to you why it was funny. To me, it was funny. But the whole situation was funny. But you have to understand what this midget looked like, okay? Because Mercer's not describing what he looked like, okay? He had a cane. It's important to point out he
He
had
looked
a cane.
like he was melting.
Yes, he had a cane, and he was dressed like in a little three-piece suit. Is the only way to describe it. With, how do I say? He looked like a midget Fatty Arbuckle, he also had like a newsy hat, like one of those little newsy hats on, and he looked like a time traveling midget from the 20s, and I could not look at him. I could not look at his little suit, his little legs, his little cane. It's just like they took a fucking a vaudeville actor and shrunk him down. I couldn't. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Everyone was fucking howling. Such fucking assholes.
Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe he was a time traveler. Maybe.